Welcome everyone. My name is Jim Goodrich of CPI Systems, and I'd like to thank George Chow of Mannix Consulting for his collaboration on this series of videos for CMMC. In this story-based session, we'll join Sam, a regular CUI user at DoD Supply, on her journey to understanding how the personnel security domain requirements will help protect controlled and classified information, or CUI. Along the way, we'll discover what every CUI user needs to know and do, and whether you're an employee, a supervisor, manager, system admin, or just curious to learn more, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's meet Sam. She's just like you, a DoD contract employee, and every day for her job, she logs into CUI systems, accessing files, and trying to keep CUI safe. Today, Sam learns why it's so important to control who can access CUI systems and what happens when teammates join the company, leave the company, or transfer within the company. Why is personnel security so important? Well, it gives the right people access to CUI systems, only those that are authorized and approved. It removes or changes access when the jobs change. Remember, least privilege should only really have access to those things that you need. And it prevents accidental or malicious CUI leaks. Let's look at what we'll cover. Why access controls are more than just IT's problem. How people are the first line of defense. Personnel security is all about people, not just computers. Making sure that only trustworthy, trained individuals and approved individuals handle CUI means fewer mistakes and far less risk of harmful leaks. As Sam will see, it all starts before someone even gets access. Personnel Security Requirement 3.9.1 is all about screening before system access. Basically, screen people before they get access to CUI systems. What does screening mean? It's essentially background checks, identity verification, making sure the person is who we think they are. No instant or automatic access. All personnel must be approved. Why unchecked access is dangerous, we'll get into that. So before Sam's coworker, let's call him Jordan, can access the company's CUI system, HR performs a background check and verifies his identity. This step helps ensure that only those who can be trusted with sensitive information can get access to it. No one gets a pass just because they're nice, or we're in a hurry, or even that they're part of the family. Screening is for everyone's safety. Why is personnel screening before getting access to sensitive information so important? Well, insider threats, that's a real thing. We need to protect our team, our company, our mission, and our country. Imagine if an unknown new hire got into CUI systems on their very first day and turned out to be working for a competitor. Screening helps prevent this nightmare. For Sam, knowing that her coworkers have all been properly checked means that she can trust the team and that others can trust her. Personnel Security Requirement 3.9.2, protecting CUI during transfers or terminations. It's all about protecting CUI systems when people leave or change roles. Removing access on the last day for a departing staff member. Adjusting access when someone transfers or is reassigned to a new job. And policies and processes must exist and be followed. What does all this mean? Well, Sam's team is changing. Jordan is leaving and Casey is moving to a new department. What needs to happen here? Jordan's access must be turned off. He no longer has access to any sensitive information. Casey, who's transferring, her access is going to change, so they only see what they need to see in the new role. All of this is handled by clear HR and IT policies to make sure that nobody keeps ghost accounts or any access to CUI that they don't need. Assessment Objective 3.9.2a is all about the access termination policy. Essentially, there must be a clear policy or process for how access ends. This really amounts to written guidance for removing credentials. HR and IT must work together to make this happen. And access is removed coincidentally or immediately with personnel changes. For instance, DoD Supply has written a policy. When someone leaves or changes roles, HR immediately notifies IT, who disables her account and retrieves the badge. Sam knows she'd never be left with access she shouldn't have. And this isn't optional. Every company must have a process before someone walks out the door. So Determination Statement 392B, also called Assessment Objectives, is about actually ending that access. Essentially, this is to ensure access and credentials are really removed after termination or transfer. It's about disabling user accounts, badge and physical access, and passwords, collecting all the hardware keys or tokens, and updating access lists promptly. For instance, Sam watches as IT disables Jordan's logins and collects his access card the moment HR says he's leaving. No more chances for accidental, even malicious access after he's gone. When Casey transfers, her permissions are updated so they only see the new department's CUI. Determination Statement 3.9.2c is about protecting systems after the transfer of personnel. It's about making sure that CUI systems stay secure during and after transfers. Remember here, this is about removing out-of-date permissions. Make sure those permissions are up to date in the system. Review access logs for any issues. And train users about new responsibilities. In the case of Casey, remember she's our transfer within the company. Casey gets a transfer. IT cross-checks to ensure Casey no longer needs access to the old project files and only has what's needed for the new job. Meanwhile, managers remind everyone on the team, if you see something strange, report it. That's how Sam's workplace prevents accidental leaks when people move around within the company. Okay, so what should Sam and you do? Essentially, never share your credentials. Report access if access isn't removed or changed when roles shift. Sometimes things get overlooked. Make sure you notify somebody when you see that happen. And help update access lists if you notice issues like this. Remember, people are the weakest and the strongest link. Sam knows it's not just HR or IT's job, it's everybody's job. If she notices a former teammate still in group chats or in systems that are outdated, she reports it. Everybody can help this way. Security is a team sport, and a little attention helps keep CUI and your company safe. Let's look at some training tips for all of us. Always be aware of new faces or role changes. Don't let guests use your computer or your badge. Watch for unusual or suspicious activity. And if you leave or transfer, hand everything in. That includes devices, cards, everything. Quick tips. Know who's on your team. If someone's leaving, say your goodbyes, but don't let them borrow your badge just one last time. As Sam learned, one small mistake can have serious consequences for CUI safety. Let's take a minute to reflect and ask ourselves these questions. What should happen if Sam's coworker leaves? Who needs to be notified if someone's role changes within your company? Why shouldn't people get access before they've been screened? So what can you do to help protect CUI when people join, leave, or transfer? And who's responsible for reporting access issues? Let's think about it. Let's answer any questions you still have. And remember, protecting CUI is everyone's job. Let's look at some takeaways for Sam and for all of us. Pre-screening before access helps keep only trusted people on our team. Immediate policy-driven removal and adjustment of access, say in a transfer, is very important. Make sure it's timely that we make these changes. And every CUI user plays a part. So the basics are: don't share our credentials, report any issues, and make sure you can know and trust your team. Sam feels confident. She knows why screening is vital and what to do when the roles change. By paying attention and following the rules, Sam and you can help keep CUI and your contract safe. Let's pause here for any additional questions, or of course you can email me at either of the addresses below. Thank you.